try to not move too much.
For we can. And so we're all basically have to be as separate as possible to make sure that we can clear ourselves of this.
Quality from week to week. So hopefully today we,
Yes.
first of all,
Yep.
we are starting a new competition. So BJ, do you want to give us a rundown on the new competition?
Yeah, sure. So it can be. I've got the definitions of what a diorama or vignette. You'll see all the details there. So 3 weeks time should give you plenty of time if you want to start a new small video. Working on something, please enter that entries in, because the more entries you put in,
We'll see what happens with that. So starting today, so we're bringing back the tradition of the car. So let's hope you can see. I tried to not move it too much. 38 people live just now, which is a huge number, probably one of the highest. Let's see if throughout the show you guys can guess what car this could be. A few questions actually that came through the week. We had a question on Instagram. Someone was asking about train set or
getting into trains. I guess it all depends. Would be HO, and there's quite a few different HO sets available, particularly from Hornby, which will include the track, the train controller, the locomotive, of course, and some carriages. And from there, it will have a modular type of track system, and then you can expand upon that, so and the like. So I think that's the easiest way to go. There is N-scale as well. If you have really tight space, N-scale is a good way of customizing it.
Give a pick. I'm gonna put this on the screen quickly, which is actually coming. So I guess that'll be interesting. They're talking about October this year. So hopefully, let's see if we can.
So the Vanquish design, it had a longitudinal set mid-mounted motor, so it's quite different to the Hotshot, which is the track width and the angles and held in with nuts that tended to be quite easy to come loose, and so plastic versions were made instead and fit on the Egress, which was the top end level of the Avanti, and then the Vanquish fit underneath the Avanti in that it had a all plastic chassis instead of the fiberglass multi-deck, and then it also had the plastic fully molded suspension arms. So all in all, it was a cheaper version, but it was probably a tougher version.
Which is just in the time of the traditional, was that
It's held in October, so it'll probably be released at that time.
Very good, very good, very good. We will see. So meanwhile, a few people start guessing the car. I guess Martin, but it's actually for that. So have a good look. I know the video is a bit the quality is a bit limited. Sorry guys. We'll try again next week with a different system again perhaps. But okay, so this week was actually measured. There we go. Which arrived just a few minutes before we left today actually. So let's give it an open.
It's very fresh.
Very fresh. Is by and it's fast low profile today. What else is your play with your, and this is also from Aromax, is the oil carry case, which is also really handy. You can put all your oil standing up. Another very interesting, specifically I guess for those doing speed runs perhaps. BJ, do you have experience with foam tires in 1.8 buggies?
1.8 buggy is quite forward, so you can go sideways quite easily with these and still be controllable.
So here we go. So that's a 1.8. This there's different. We'll have a test run as soon as we are. So we also received some train stuff. Very exciting from Hornby. BJ, do we want to have a start with that?
We do. Okay, so it's Hornby's 100th anniversary. So for their centenary, they're releasing a few items, and I've got a couple of small things here. Let's hold it up here. It came out as a full. here for you. So that's quite a nice little.
Okay, so also invented a mechano system, which is something we should probably talk at some point soon. So very, very popular. And yeah, they also release a mag, which is there's a pen from. Here we go.
Okay. So how's the?
Okay, so moving next, what do we have new again? Copper State. BJ, you have some new Copper State releases today?
I do. I've got a couple of the new aircraft. So they're the Newports. So Copper State released. The main differences are the engine cowling around here. So it's a partial cowling. And then on the 21, although that's a back section you can't really see, that's got a fuller cowling. And then there's a few other details with them. Whereas the later 23, it's fully synchronized. So the machine gun is low, so the pilot could actually see where he's firing, and the bullets would go between the blades as it's spun. Now I'll quickly have a look inside, and I'll show you what the different bits are for each one of them.
Meanwhile, here's still the car. I think someone gets it right up there. Let's see if someone else comes up with a solution again.
Okay, so I've got the manuals here. So really cool. Computer graphic, very clear manual. Now I'll show you the two original bits from each. Okay, so this one here, the top wing. So there's a few little details that are different there. And then this is on the 21. And you can see the obvious part here, that's the aim. Doesn't have the cutout. Okay, so the rear aircraft, but with these kits, things go off World War I kits in the past. And these are, if you really need your kit of World War I large aircraft, then these are perfect for you. Not a simple kit, but it'll definitely keep you busy and they'll look very nice.
What I have here are some of the new Scholastic. Actually, we received a very limited shipment this week of slot car DB5. Okay, so there's a DB to this one that we're showing here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a DB5. Is a part of the J. Always a classic with a different lever. There is a driver. You got all the bumpers and at the back as well. Okay, and there is one more, which I think is one of my favorite. Actually, this one is a panel van. Here we go. Let's remove the case.
That's really cool.
This is really nice. So that's white. This Broomus Racing. So if you can see this way. There we go. That's a good release from Scholastic. There's a couple of other cars. There is also a V8 supercar that arrived in, and we made sure they were next week. Would you want to show us the new tweezers that we received this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm just getting those here. Just drop one in. So here we go. Yeah. So these are from the new 9 steps range. So we've got 3 different types there. So some of the cheaper tweezers are just here, so you don't have to bend so much. The straight ones, they're probably easier for most people. They meet each side through new tweezers there. I might just crack them open and just give you a closer look at them. Start with these curved ones. Okay, so I'll just pull it off there. So you can see just how sharp. They're perfect. Okay, so let's get into the straight ones. Straight ones there. Easy to pick up and release items. And then finally we've got the flat ones. Okay, so like this. Just rubber band. Okay. So you see how much wider they are. And then you'll see here when I squeeze them, they meet quite flat. So hence why they're really good for getting decals. So when you poke it in the water, you just have to go on this angle, pick up your decal on the top, and then just pull it out. Okay, so they're all available now. They're all made of stainless steel, so they're in the same range as the these really nice side cutters that have been shown before. So we still have to do so very similar to a guide hand type of T of odd shape. Pull that out. Okay, this is placing these green ones across like this. You see that they're hooked. So these can quite easily be used for applying putty, scraping the back, doing sculpting work, even opening up parts again. So if you've got a Gundam, so I've got a lot of Gundam builders, they'll build the Gundam first, just to work out how to paint the there's two black multi-tools. Okay, so they're pointed on the ends. Interesting enough that see that this one's quite sharp and this one's ridged. So you can use those for applying glue. You're applying CA glue with those. This has a slightly different handle in that, but it's using a Zimrat application tool for it.
Very good. Still some 9-step. So one good thing of 9-step is actually the packaging. There's quite a lot of information on the back of tools. If you're just starting out, there's some basic tips in here. They're really helpful. Things like make sure you clean your screws, nuts and bolts before you use your tools. That will prolong the life of your tools quite considerably. So let me show you quickly inside one of those. There you go. So that's how they come in a tool set like this, and the titanium, as you replace the tip once get worn, and your handle can stay. So there's a 1.5, 2 and 2.5 millimeter tool, which is very range to work on your cars actually. So let's go before thing. I can see the resin model. It's in 1/18 scale. Okay. I was asking last week, keeping around as you.
So we've still got one in the box here. It's not a buckle, it's a pack. It's flat packed. Okay, so it's made out of PB, which you probably can't see on the video because it's all out of whack. But if I read the dimensions here, that'll probably be easier. Okay, so 200. So make the small piece can quite often handy when you're sanding, because when I'm sanding stuff, it goes all over the place. And then all your dust gets collected inside, pull this out, throw it out, start all over again, and then you have a video and you shoot.
Super helpful actually. I think that would be helpful for all of us doing RC cars when you need to put an eclipse on shock pistons or other part of the car, and they normally tend to explode around your living room or into your carpet or whatsoever. So that would be a very good little tool.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys can see us tonight. Still, I know I can see comes and goes a little bit. Okay, is there really good box mounts, suspension arms, gear wheels, and in this case also the body shell. Reduce the size of the box, which means that freighting those across the world body, and also to design for the one without the opening for the engine and the fuel tank for the electric version. So this is part of the Vision range, which is just being released. We're talking use. That's for the hot bodies and BT design. What else do we have? Do we have something else there, BJ? I think I'm almost at the end of my end.
We've got the sub-assemblies for painting. Okay, and so gifts and all the boxes would have been very anyway. But it's good. The Amusing Hobbies kit of the Panther 2. So I've just got a basic one. It's going to be there just to show the progress.
Very good. So let's see if anyone has any questions. I see the video quality is up and down really. So tonight I was going to talk about these train buildings and nation. Is any other project that actually YouTube channel along with BJ? Yes, I will leave that one for keep on with that. Felony.
So felony.
There's a second. That's computer. Quite a few. Some week to. That's quick. Additional. Everyone can choose. What they prefer. Or can yes. BJ,
there's always what that would make it just begin. So that's the thing that sort of cracked open last week. We're working on these
before we finish up, BJ.
Run competition. We need photos, of course, so really where your overall story and how it all comes about. With just go ahead and do that. All up. So get on it. You
picture interesting. Bring on a few things. There's a picture.